yeah, we're in gallery view. Oh, yeah. DTF is actually happening on a Friday night.
Huh?
How are you doing?
Hi. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm all right. I finished a Truly. We have
Sure.
upgraded from White Claw.
Nice. Truly, I've had one of those, and I had the mango Truly and I had a mango White Claw.
Okay.
Pretty sure I like the mango Truly better.
Okay. I
Yeah.
basically, so I'm a trash person, and
Mm.
this is an upgrade from Mangaritas,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
Because
I don't
that
think I ever had Mangaritas.
it's like 8.5%. It's just
Mm.
candy that's like melted down in vodka.
Well, me and my followers over at Pinnacle Vodka know exactly what you're talking about. Shout out, please. I would love to get back to promoting your brand. Just holla at your boy. I'm poor.
Yeah. Also, Truly, feel free to sponsor us, or White Claw. I'll go back to you. You know.
And brand of wine. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We will sell kind of whatever alcohol you want. I mean, we
Right.
are not hacks. We won't just sell anything, but we will sell almost any alcohol.
Look, I will try any alcohol and I will sell any alcohol that pays me to sell. So I don't know what that means as far as hackiness is.
Mm-hmm.
I do have one friend of the show, Sue Taney, gave me it's like a cream liquor in like a bottle that looks like a sperm.
Ooh.
It's been in my refrigerator for a long time. I don't think I'm ever going to drink that.
Oh.
But if they contact me, I will definitely hawk it here at DTF Quarantine Edition.
I have a
Hi.
bottle of wine that's shaped like a cat.
Ooh.
I got it from the Ruba Club. They gave it to me because I kept going, like a cat. And they took pity on me and they gave me the cat alcohol. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, that sounds like something that would be in video games. Speaking of which, I just streamed my first Twitch because I'm stuck in the house. It's playing The Witcher today on the internet. So, follow me on the things if you want to watch me play a one-player role-playing game.
I like how we're
I
all
can also
really good at the internet, right? Like 2 weeks ago, I had a very old Android and I was like, I don't need a nice phone for anything. And then the camera died. I'm like, I need to stream
I need to
using
plug
4
back into the
different
world.
platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, welcome to DTF.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
DTF is about to be a 7-year-old show. When it
is.
comes around to May, this show will be 7 years old.
No matter how they try to kill us, we stand strong.
Yes, and it is the greatest sex education comedy, sometimes game show in the known universe.
Very true. And yeah, we might figure out a way to make it a game show. Actually, I have a perfect way to make it a game show. But we will figure that out at some other time. For right now, we are here to provide you with the latest and greatest in sex news in the news. That was a terrible sentence. But, things that have to do with your genitals or the way that you interact those genitals with yourself or other people, or the feelings that arise that lead sometimes to the use of genitals. Or lack thereof.
Yeah. So we got a couple of stories. Would you like to go first? Because I believe yours are just going to be more fun. I believe that.
Oh, I doubt it. Okay. Well,
okay.
I know. Here's a fun one. Okay, no. Well, you said you had less fun ones. I'll start with a fun one, and then we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
This comes from DJ Floyd Vonnegut. Thank you so much. Our in-house DJ at our live show sent me an article that said that a medical fetish site known as MedFet UK has been contacted by the NHS, that is the National Health Service. If you're in America, it's nothing like what we have. And they were contacted by them and have decided to donate their entire stock of scrubs to the effort to fight coronavirus, in the UK and I imagine abroad. I'm imagining abroad because probably not. But yeah, they donated their entire stock. And that's really cool because, everybody's got to chip in. And, that's what's missing from a lot of medical fetish stuff is wheezing.
I mean, it's definitely a thing. Like, so this is a 90-degree turn. When this stuff first started popping up around coronavirus, there were some interesting conversations on, and this is a real thing, coughing and sneezing fetish sites.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so
that is a thing. I've seen those things. Few genres of porn have made me make this face, and it was a sneezing site. It was one where phlegm was being transferred from one person to the other, and I've seen a lot of transferring.
Yeah, we don't yuck anybody's yum here at DTF.
I'm not yucking anybody's yum. I'm not saying that it's wrong or bad, or if you like that stuff, you're wrong or bad. I'm saying that I've seen a lot of porn, and my reaction to this, because it was like going on, and then I was like, oh, okay, they're just kind of sneezing on each other. Let me move ahead a couple minutes, and I didn't get that gradual.
The escalation.
Yeah, the escalation. I didn't get the teasing. I didn't get the. I didn't get any of that stuff. I just went to straight, and I was just like, no. So probably my fault. Very likely my bad. But yes, what was happening with coughing and sneezing? You triggered me.
The conversations on those forums among fans of coughing content, they were talking about how they can tell when it's real, and like the
Hatuphasia people.
Yeah, and that this is going to like there were a mixture because among the coughing and sneezing fetishist community, you will find the beautiful diversity and variety that you will find among the population at large, right? So you're going to find lots of different reactions.
Yep.
And some were like, well, this is great for me. And then other people were like, oh, this is like, I'm not sure how this is going to impact my boner. Like just a lot of contemplation about how an international play will affect our ability to jerk off, so
I mean that seems like fetish is fetish, and some people their kinks are more prevalent in their lives than other people, but I think there's a health to like something not being sexy. You know what I mean? And I get like that community having a discussion about it, because like if it is something you like to do, maybe you want to take it back a second, or wait 14 days before you sneeze in your partner's mouth for fun. Maybe, but like I love butts, but if there was like a diarrhea plague going around, I wouldn't be like, man, I'm gonna get hard if I see like wet spots in somebody's jeans, because that means they gonna die at a butt. Like that's not fun. That's not fun.
Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting how this changes people, because there's going to be a lot of stuff that's different. I'm curious what fetishes will develop. Like, will people have this incredible fetish for like being outside?
Everyone's going to get into dogging porn, which shout out to the UK. Everyone's going to get into that because it just reaffirms our social bonds as a people. But you put up the windows, so one, you can alert people that you're not supposed to touch. That's part of the nomenclature in that community. And two, you protect yourself from coronavirus.
Yeah. To clarify for anybody who doesn't know dogging already, it's like you're out in a car doing the fucking, and then people know to come nearby and that they can watch, and then everybody's on board with the watching. And then of course there's the levels to it, of levels of interactiveness to it. It is totally illegal.
Yes, I imagine.
So that's more dangerous in that way. So
yeah, but windows all the way up, look but don't touch. Windows down, the cracked, you might be able to like stick a hand in, feel on a thing if it's down enough. I guess imagine, I think that's what I know. And then windows all the way down is like, come on, man, throw your fluids in here, which is again unsafe.
Especially now.
Without prior negotiation and understanding. But the stranger vibe is the big thing in dogging, and as such, I imagine that the likelihood of irresponsibility would be heightened in a situation where anonymity is part of the turn on.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I think a lot of people are going to find internet forms of sexual communication that they didn't necessarily try before. So the most obvious ones being like having a, you know, like a phone sex situation, or having like Skype or a Zoom sex situation, or teledildonics, where you use
my favorite word.
Some kind of toy that you can control from a distance. Or
there are a few of those. Like I imagine, some teledildonics and some Zoom.
You know, I've been seeing more ads on my Instagram for the following things: for tripods and ring lights, because they know what's up, and for like at-home fitness, because they're coming for my shit. And then also, I've been seeing it for remote-controlled vibrators that are like discreet, that you can like hide in underwear or whatever. And I'm like, teledildonics, this is
teledildonics, baby.
Moments.
Yep, it is a big moment. It is a big moment.
However, an Amazon employee, because Amazon currently has a lot of issues with like,
I love this.
Yeah, being asked to work under like these conditions and without enough safety gear and with not enough hazard pay and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Jeff Bezos fucking suck it. They were saying like dildos are not an essential purchase right now.
and I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. I just say, let they who is without dildos cast the first stone. You don't know how big of an emergency it is.
Yeah.
Maybe, that dildo was the thing you were able to set your clock by. Like, that motherfucker is there for me always. And then, 3 weeks ago, you moved it wrong, it sprung a leak, it tore, you can't wash it now. Like there might be, the cat got to it, started biting on it. You don't know. But you can't use it now without a condom. And, in these days where you're just stuck at home, why would you even want to practice condom use? You're stuck. You're completely stuck. Like, I mean, I guess the getting pregnant, but like, fucking put it in the throat.
Well, I would also just say that like, there's an important piece here of orgasms are beneficial to health for both like physical well-being, your immune system. There has been more coverage of that fact, the fact that an orgasm provided by yourself or another person is beneficial to immunity and also just like general sense of well-being.
Releases endorphins and antihistamines, increases blood flow, can make you feel healthier, in addition to the serotonin and dopamine dumps that lead to a feeling of comfort and relaxation, which, I mean, have been shown to aid in recovery, if not flat out, pathogen fighting or whatever.
And as the New York State Health Department pointed out, your safest sex partner is you.
Yes.
And if you're going to have sex with other people, it should just be people that are in your house. That's what's up. Like
people who you are social distancing with.
Yeah.
And so even with those people.
Yeah. Not inviting people over to your house for the fucking.
That's when you use teledildonics. But the NYS guidelines did include that rimming should probably be something you take off the table because of the risk of mucous membranes, transmitted disease, and those with COVID-19 tend to, it's been found that the virus lives in the feces of those people. And so the closer you put an open orifice to the doo-doo maker, the closer you could be to getting some doo-doo in you. And, there are benefits of putting doo-doo in you. If you're
like a fecal transplant.
Yes.
That's a very specific circumstance.
Very specific, but I'm saying it's not 100% bad.
You're not going to do that at home. No fecal transplants at home, friends. Leave that to the professionals.
Or at least you need a big shower, clean pipes. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. But to go back to your original point, the original story about the medical fetish site that was donating things, that's rad. There were also some sex toy stores that, like in San Francisco, were donating their gloves and like other stuff like that, because for folks who use nitrile gloves for sex, which is a great thing for us to normalize all the time, especially now for folks with fingernails. You can use gloves you can put little cotton balls in each finger, and then you can put your glove on top of it if you want to soften the nail, or just in general, if you're performing any kind of fisting activity, putting a hand inside of a person. Gloves are a really great idea. It makes cleanup super fast. It makes it just a little bit safer in case you have any cuts or dry skin. I know we all been washing our hands a lot, so we got drier
I got a hangnail that popped, and this hurts.
You need a
So,
glove before you stick
yeah,
that hand in the person.
if I'm gonna put any of this into anything else, just hit him with the. Oh, should have took my watch off. Well, ooh, thankfully I have insurance. You know what I mean? You wanna
on the watch?
You want to put a glove on the watch, because once it gets in there, you void the warranty. I imagine, and just they'd be like, "That's been in the butt."
Can they just tell?
I think, couldn't you?
Depends on the butt, I guess.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, if a butt is able to get a wrist in, the watch is probably going to come out pretty free of debris. By the time you've gotten all of that in, you would think if there was something at the top, you're pushing it back. So anyway.
Which also is an excellent time to point out that if you go to sexwithtimaree.com or Sex with Timaree Facebook page, recently I posted an article, courtesy of my good friend Darryl, about how to clean out your ass.
Yes.
Anal sex.
I learned from that there are two different types of cleaning. There's a superficial clean and a deep clean. So go to Sex with Timaree, find that wonderful infographic, and learn some things.
You can just search in Sex with Timaree. There's a little search bar, and you can be like anal sex, and you'll find a whole bunch of stuff. Or you can clean, and you'll find a very different list.
But there's intersectionality.
But you'll find that article anyway.
That's the important part.
Yeah. True story. So that's fun. Do you want to hear my article?
I can't wait.
Oh man. All right. So I'm currently in the process of writing an article for Philadelphia Weekly. So you'll get to hear this in greater depth in the near future when I finish writing it. But I'm currently working on an article on how like strippers, sex workers, porn stars, etc. are affected by all of this. And a really big thing happened this week. So there's been a lot of stuff about what has happened to sex workers, legal or otherwise, in the face of quarantine. And there's articles today about how there's a concern that sex workers in Tokyo's red light district might be like vectors for COVID right now because the people cycling through there. There's also some articles out about how Nevada's legal sex workers in their brothels, because Nevada is the only state that has legal brothels, and it's not in every part of Nevada, but the state with it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not legal in Vegas, for instance.
Not legal in Vegas, which you'd think it was different, but that's not the way it is.
It is a surprise. It's a real surprise. But just right outside of Vegas, you can find yourself some brothels, but they're having a hard time, and they've been getting into trouble for still trying to advertise because like how like they want to stay open, like a lot of businesses, they want to stay open, they want to stay open.
And I imagine at a brothel on a weekday, less than 10 people, less than 10 customers. But I don't know, I don't run one.
But I mean, like, Anthropology thinks it's an essential life-saving business too, so like, whatever. Like, I could make a better argument for the brothel. Anyway, so these are some of the folks that are affected, but then a specific thing was noted in the $2 trillion stimulus that approved by the Congress recently, that it includes a bunch of loans for small businesses. They made a specific point to exempt from these bailouts people who make money from prurient sexual interest services, etc. So it doesn't matter if it's perfectly legal. It doesn't matter if you've been paying taxes. What matters is that it's sexual in nature, and they went out of their way to explicitly deny help to these folks. So strippers, cam models, porn performers, it's a totally legal job.
Right.
They've been paying their fair share of taxes, but they are being left out in the cold in terms of help from the stimulus. So given that the bill is already super aimed for the corporate types who have,
who have money already and don't pay taxes.
Yeah. So it's just exemplifying how, like, and why is that even, why? Who snapped that in there? Who was right.
I think, that's the thing. It's like, America's sex negative. You get that. Puritans founded it, and everybody was worried about Jesus, and God forbid you came in the wrong time. Blah blah blah. Sure, we're thousands of years past that, hundreds of years past that. But still, it's prevalent. But you have to sit here and just wonder, as they were doing this, who was the person who said, "Hey, excuse me, you think this is a tangent, but are we punishing hookers at all in this? Are we punishing sex workers? Is there any language that specifically punishes them? Because my constituents would love to know that there's a small set of people who are being hurt by this legislation. I cannot go back to my people in my district and tell them that hookers are getting money because of the fact that they're out of it, because the people who go to the hookers, aka my constituents, are stuck at home. Who the fuck did that?
I have not bothered to look it up, because if I knew that information, I would break quarantine to drive to their house.
Sure.
And,
yeah, I want to know that person, because this is another tangent that would have been stand-up if that was still a thing. I want like the names of these people who push these kinds of legislation through, like some things will make the news, and you'll find out that X person is against this thing, or Y person said, the real way to avoid it is to get on your knees, instead of going outside, whatever. But if you know those particular people, and the example I used was Mike Pence, then I think that the working class should go out of their way to make sure that those people cannot order food without spit in it. You can't do much. And I'm not saying kill them. I'm not saying hurt them. I'm saying, when you find out who these people are, you are in the position to serve them food. You don't even have to spit in it, just say, when you give it to them, let everybody who's cooking the food and is around, let them know that this is that person. And then when you hand it to them, go, "Hey man, we heard what you did about that bill, and we just want you to know that we hope you enjoy your food."
Well, I like it when like those motherfuckers that like go out to eat, and then the wait staff makes it intolerable for them to be there. Usually it's not the wait staff that does it, it's other customers, actually. Which is great, because then we don't have to put this once again on the essential workers who are getting paid $2 an hour.
Good point.
So we can use our powers as other customers to chase Mike Pence out of any building.
Yeah, see, but I mean, and that should be the fact too. But then what happens is those people tend to have money because they're bankrolled by people who are making money off of this inequality. And what they're, what they end up doing is like, they'll just get their exclusive places that they go eat, or they just order things. And they'll have, someone on their staff order it, so it's not their name on the thing. But like, if you notice, the address is of, for example, that guy who bought a Hahnemann Hospital and refuses to open it up to the city of Whorephobia.
Who's
maybe
at 21st and Locust? Or his
that dude. If he's at that corner where you'll see that there's some graffiti on there that says like, "This guy's a fucking dick."
Jeff Freeman.
Yeah, right. If you happen to be delivering food to this person, you happen to notice that that's the article, just be like, "Yo, man, I just want you to know everybody at that restaurant completely knows who it is that's getting this food. And I hope you enjoy it, man. I really hope you eat every bit of it, especially the juices at the bottom. That's from us."
Yeah.
You ain't even got to do nothing. You ain't even got to do nothing to the food. I would love for you to do something to the food, but I get it. There's CSI and people will find DNA. Don't even do nothing. But I just want, hey, man, we saw you. Hey, I saw you on the news, baby. Hope you enjoy that burger.
Just in case anybody doesn't already know what we're talking about, this guy who's a douche canoe bought Hahnemann Hospital for the purposes of shutting it down. Thousands of people lost jobs, and a lot of the city's medical services were just like thrown into disarray, because it was a hospital that served a lot of low income and homeless people.
What? You mean the poor had to suffer before the rich? That is not the way this works typically. Oh my God.
It's a surprise, I know.
You gotta warn me before you spring something like that on me. What, the poor suffer before the rich? Oh, Jesus. I thought the meek shall inherit. It's almost as if
it.
everybody was full
That's
of
when
shit.
we die.
Yeah.
That's what that's about. That's when we die.
Ah,
But yeah, so this giant
okay.
ass hospital is just sitting there not being used, and Philly's hospitals are dealing with this like huge influx of patients, and they have to like separate people out. And then there's still all the regular ass shit that happens. People still slice their hands open, and people still have to have babies, and people still have heart attacks. And it would be really cool to use this giant ass hospital, but he wants to get paid out for it, like he just put it up for sale and they bought it. And because he's a complete douche canoe, like an absolute douche rocket. And like Helen Jim, who's probably the most popular politician in Philadelphia right now, has been leading the charge for like, come on, my dude. And my hope is that he can be pressured into doing the right thing. But he's
and
resisting
one
it.
way,
It's fair market value. And it's like,
yeah, I mean, abusing the market for your benefit is kind of the American way. And I think that the other American way is to just wink at him when you deliver perishable goods to his house. But hey, man, I really had to pee, but I'm so glad I found out it was you that I was delivering this to, man. I'm good. Thank you so much for everything you do for the city. The city is really looking out for you, dog. I feel so relaxed.
he also has a house in Florida. So if anyone's listening in Florida.
How about that one? Huh? I didn't know you wanted gator tacos. It was chicken. Oh, it don't matter. Man, go ahead. We love everything you're doing, buddy.
All right. So you had one more story, right?
I do have one more story. This is a fun one. The FDA has eased restrictions on gay blood donors, thanks to a real big need for blood in the face of COVID-19. If you don't know this, this is shades of shade. Am I right? Anyway, this is shades of the HIV epidemic, where men who slept with men or people who slept with people of the quote unquote same gender were prohibited from giving blood purely out of the fear, the now very much debunked fear, that gay people had AIDS because they were gay. And they've been barred from donating blood or marrow or anything like that. Purely, it's just like, are you gay? And so, because there is kind of a run on blood nowadays with all of everyone dying, the FDA has now said, like, oh yeah, now the gay, we'll take gay blood. Where, you know, this is not a new issue. This is not a issue that has never been tried to be argued. It's not like no one has ever said, hey, you know, we should probably repeal that whole thing now that we know about HIV and we can screen for it. And we also know that most people who are gay don't have HIV. So anyway, just a fun little bit of progress in this day and age.
There's some specifics to that. So not too long ago, I believe it was like a year or so ago, they changed the provisions. So the folks who just generally can't donate, their blood won't be accepted. There's a lot of different reasons. If you've gotten a tattoo in the last year by a place that isn't state certified. So if you got one in New Jersey at a certified place, you can. If you got one in Pennsylvania, you can't in the last year. If you are a man who has sex with men, not allowed to. If you are a person who has had sex with a man who's had sex with a man, you're not allowed to. If you've had sex in exchange for money or drugs, you're not allowed to. Like, there's a whole laundry list. Intravenous drug users, there's a whole bunch of people who've been excluded. And then a couple of years ago, they decided that men who have sex with men can donate if they've been celibate for a year.
Yep.
So that was a fun, still homophobic way to deal with it.
We don't care if you're gay. We just want you to be sexually frustrated.
Yeah, so then...
Something about that extra cum in the blood. You know what I mean? When you just backed up, gotta get something out. That makes the blood pressure high. We get the blood out real easy. Just, I can't wait to give this blood so I can jizz in somebody. Ooh, give me that cookie. I'm about to make it cookie. You know what I mean? Get a couple of my friends together.
All right, so the updated version that is now happening is that gay men can donate, but again, still have to have been celibate. I think it's now for 2 months. That is,
I think it's 30 days.
30 days. Okay, I guess it's down to a month. So that's
no, sorry, 90 days.
90 days. All right, we were
90 days, so 3
both wrong.
months down
Okay,
from
yeah.
12. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So it's still homophobic.
Very.
Like, it's still homophobic because I don't know if y'all know this, but HIV doesn't actually know what your sexual orientation or your gender is. All it knows is that it can travel through blood, through vaginal secretions, through like ejaculation, other, you know, like semen, and then through breast milk. That's all it knows, is it can go through that. And so if you're mixing fluids with people, it doesn't go through saliva. It doesn't live in
Yeah.
urine. You can't get it from a toilet seat. But
Stop coming in breast milk.
I mean, actually, if that's not close to an orifice or an opening in the body or a cut or something, yeah, you can come on breast milk all you want.
I was just saying that's nasty.
Oh.
That has nothing to do with, you know, putting it in something. Just please don't come in breast milk. That just seems like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I don't that analogy doesn't even fit, but don't do it. It's nasty.
It's like throwing the water out with the baby water.
It's like coming in a liquid and then throwing it out. Because that's the only thing you can fucking do after it. Stop it.
It's just wasteful.
It's wasteful, and I don't like it.
Wasteful.
What I kind of want, and I want anyone who needs blood to be able to get it, thanks to the very socialist practices that we have of sharing our blood with people. But what I really kind of want, just for the comedic effect, is I want a gay person to give the Rorschach monologue, where he says, and they'll come to me in their moment of need, and they'll ask for help, and I will look at them and I will say no. And I just need like I need a stereotypical gay person to give that speech.
No.
It's not, you know, they will come to me and I will say, clack my fan. And on the fan, it says no. And it'll just be great. That would make me laugh a lot. They will come to me and I will say, bitch, go fuck yourself, honey. Like, that's what I want. It would be the best. Oh, I would love that so much.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're not as vindictive as me, if you're a better person than I am, please go donate blood and just tell them you haven't fucked in 90 days. Like, you know what? Fucking say it with cum on your breath. No, not the whole 90 days. November 13th was the last time I came in a man. I remember. I got video. You want to see it? No? All right. Well, then just take this blood. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. I was swimming at the YMCA and my mouth was open. That's why it smells like this. That's nothing to do with anything else I was doing. It's just a little chlorine in my mouth. That's all. Ooh, excuse me. He was, I refer to pools as he's, because they large bodies of waters. I refer to as he's, because everybody calls ships women. So I just figured it's a bit of parody. That's all. So when I say he came in my mouth, I'm at the pool. But go ahead, take this blood.
All right. Okay, so that was our PSA for today.
Yeah, stop coming in breast milk and go give blood. Especially, if you have blood and you happen to not have felt sick in the past 2 weeks, see if you can go give blood, because there is actually a shortage of it in these trying times. So, I've never given blood. But
there's like a lot of reasons. I've been turned down for so many reasons. I used to donate however frequently you could, like when I was a teenager. Then I started getting tattoos. And so then I couldn't do it when I would get a tattoo. And then it would be, I had gone to countries in the last however many months, so I couldn't do it anymore. And yeah, there's a long list of reasons they just won't even test it. They won't take it out of you and bother to test it because they don't want to waste the resources on it. So it's based on a version of reality that is, if it were ever accurate, certainly is no longer, because populations that are having the highest incidence, the highest increases in HIV are actually the elderly population, because they don't use condoms because nobody getting pregnant. And then straight people, and it is still definitely a disease that most adversely affects already marginalized populations. It always has been, like all things are.
What? Are you telling me that the poor and the marginalized are more at risk for trouble in the world than those who aren't, that's ridiculous. That's almost to say that like marginalization is deadly or something like that. Like when being pushed into the gutters of society, one just has to do what they can in order to survive, and often that means putting oneself at risk for disease or just serial killers. But I don't know. I don't know nothing. I'm just a person with a Venmo, Darryl_Charles, that has no money in it.
Well, that's fun that you should bring that up because this is backwards. Is this backwards for you?
No. I can see it perfect.
Okay, great. Well, this is my Venmo. And we got like just a handful last time we posted one of these. So we're hopeful that this will be exponential growth.
Yeah, baby. Each one of these videos it has a you can infect up to 3 people per video. So share, tell people, and then also hook your boy up. DarrylCharlesComedy@gmail is my PayPal. You could do that too.
Oh,
That's also my email address. Holla at me.
Yeah. Timaree.Schmit@gmail is my PayPal also. So yeah. So if you like these, and if you don't have the money, that's fine. I understand. I don't know any money either. You could just share it, and then maybe someone who has money will see it.
Or shout out to one of my aunts who shared our last one, the last one that came out, because I did not think that she would be the kind of person who would appreciate this kind of stuff. So look at me learning.
Yeah. And it's also just nice because there's a lot of bummer feelings right now, and if this will make someone happy, just share it out there.
We're in the happiness business, man. Going on fucking 7 years.
Yeah, we will laugh at the face of danger.
Yep, we will laugh in the face of danger and continue to eat butt in tumultuous circumstances. We out here, baby. Thumb paddles, spider fingers. You know what I mean? You know what? Take a knuckle and just drag it along the hole. You ain't even got to go in there. Just stimulate the nerves around it with a lubed up fucking knuckle. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you got nails, right? You just, boom, throw that in there, and then bang, bang, bang. You got it. It only takes about 6 rotations before the person's over with, from what I've heard on the internet. As long as it's been a while. If they're able to donate blood, you know what I mean? If it's been 90 days, you ain't got to just, 90 days, it's like 60 minutes. Tick, 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 ding, and that's it. It's over with. You ain't even got to worry. We go to commercial.
I love it. All right. Well, so on that note, we'll go to commercial one last time. Here are our sponsors who should sponsor us. Oh, that's sad.
It is sad. I guess brand of wine is going to have to help me continue.
That's true. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for quarantine version of DTF.
Yay!
Yay! I have been your professional sex educator who's about to do an Instagram live burlesque thing, and that's the explanation for the curls. But hi, I'm Dr. Timaree, and bye, I'm Dr. Timaree.
Hi, I'm Darryl Charles, and I'm gonna be on the internet doing stuff. I think I'm gonna see if I can get a gigantic game of Quiplash popping sooner than later, given that you can share things on the internet. I have no idea. You got to do something, right? Yeah. It'll be fun. I'll have funny people on. I promise.
I like it. All right, everybody, stay safe. Check out DTF Fun Hour on Facebook. And again, if you like it, share it. We love you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Stay sane.
Woo!